1971 gave us legends at their absolute peak. Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, and voices that reshaped soul forever. But beneath those towering names were artists who struck lightning once, lit up radios, packed dance floors, and then quietly slipped into history. These are the one-hit R&B wonders of 1971, songs that defined moments, moved bodies, and left a permanent mark, even if their creators never returned to the spotlight.
6 years later in Jackson, Mississippi, King Floyd would record his biggest hit.
Number 12, Groove Me by King Floyd.
The enduring appeal of Groove Me was also evident later in the decade when
The Funk Invitation that started it all. Our countdown begins in New Orleans with King Floyd and his raw, irresistible funk classic Groove Me. Originally released on Malaco Records, the song was never meant to be a hit. In fact, it was buried on the B-side. But DJs flipped the record, and everything changed. By 1971, Groove Me shot to number 1 on the R&B chart and cracked to the pop top 10, powered by its stripped-down groove and Floyd's pleading, street-level vocal. No polish, no excess. Just rhythm and feeling. Picture it. Smoky clubs along Claiborne Avenue, couples pressed close, that bass line working slow and steady, like a heartbeat. Oh baby, you're so doggone fine. King Floyd never matched the song's success again.
Began his career at the young age of 12, recording for a local record label in 19...
But Groove Me didn't need a sequel. Its minimal production, rolling horns, and southern grit helped shape early 70s funk and laid groundwork for sounds that followed, from southern soul to early disco. Sometimes one groove is enough to earn immortality.
Girl, between you and me,
Number 11, Mr. Big Stuff by Jean Knight. The swagger that took over, 1971. If Confidence had a soundtrack in 1971, it sounded like Jean Knight.
Who do you think you are, Mr. Big?
Recorded at Malaco Studios in Jackson, Mississippi, Mr. Big Stuff arrived with a tough funk groove and an attitude radio couldn't ignore.
Tell me, who do you think you are?
From the opening line, Jean wasn't pleading. She was challenging. Who do you think you are? The song exploded. It hit number 1 on the R&B chart.
'Cause when I give my love, I want love in return.
And climbed to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, turning Knight into a household name almost overnight. Musically, it was lean and punchy. Hard drums, biting bass, and a vocal delivery packed with sass and authority. But despite the massive success, Jean Knight never found another hit that reached the same cultural height. Still, Mr. Big Stuff refused to fade. It became a pop culture fixture. Sampled heavily in hip-hop, revived in commercials, and echoed across decades of music built on attitude. In 1971, though, it was something even bigger, an anthem of self-respect. Women nodding along, calling out ego, arrogance, and empty bravado in real time. One song, one moment, and an attitude that still lands every time the beat drops. Number 10, Want Ads by Honeycomb. The Classifieds that topped the charts. In 1971, love went looking in an unexpected place. The Classified Ads. That clever twist came from Honeycomb, a female trio that turned heartbreak into one of the year's most playful hits. Released on Hot Wax Records. Want Ads took the frustration of a failed relationship and flipped it into independence and possibility. Wanted, young man, single.
Young man, single
and free. Built on a driving Motown-inspired beat, the song felt light, fresh, and endlessly catchy. Audiences agreed. Want Ads shot to #1 on both the R&B and pop charts, earning the group a gold record and making them one of the few female acts of the era to dominate both formats simultaneously. But the success proved fleeting. Follow-up singles never reached the same heights, and Honeycomb's moment in the spotlight passed quickly. Still, in 1971, this song was everywhere. You couldn't escape it, on radios, in kitchens, or humming through the house while flipping the Sunday paper. Sometimes a hit doesn't need tragedy or drama. Sometimes it just needs a great hook, a smart idea, and perfect timing. And Want Ads had all three. Number 9, Thin Line Between Love and Hate by the Persuaders. The warning that cut too deep. Some songs make you dance, others make you stop and listen. In 1971, the Persuaders, a vocal group out of New York, did the latter with Thin Line Between Love and Hate, produced by Richard and Bobby Poindexter. The song wasn't flashy. It was direct, built around spoken word storytelling and a slow-burning groove that felt uncomfortably real. This wasn't romance. It was a warning. A tale of a woman pushed too far by neglect, ego, and emotional games. Until love turns dangerous. The record struck a nerve. It climbed to #1 on the R&B chart and cracked the Pop Top 20.
I didn't think my girl had the nerve.
Becoming the group's defining and only major hit. Despite its success, the Persuaders never recreated the same impact.
Out of sight, can I persuade you to give it up for the mighty Persuaders?
But the song refused to disappear. Its message echoed across generations, covered by artists from H-Town in the 90s to Annie Lennox. Each version proving the story never lost relevance. In 1971, this wasn't just a slow jam. It was the moment the dance floor went quiet. Because everyone recognized the truth in the lyrics. One song, one lesson, and a reminder that love, when ignored, can turn cold fast.
It really hurt you one day.
Number 8, She's Not Just Another Woman by The Eighth Day. A hit with no real band. Some hits come from bands, others come from ideas. She's not just another woman. Arrived in 1971 on the Invictus label, founded by Holland Dozier Holland after leaving Motown. Musically, the song was smooth, confident, and perfectly built for cruising. A blend of funk rhythm, soulful vocals, and late-night romance. The public responded. It reached number 3 on the R&B chart and climbed to number 11 on the pop chart, becoming one of the label's early successes. Here's the twist. The Eighth Day wasn't really a group. The name was simply a studio project, a collection of session musicians assembled for this one release. No touring band.
latest on the Twitter, she's been just as close.
No follow-up identity, just one perfectly timed record. That makes this a true one-hit wonder in the purest sense.
She's not just another woman.
Put the song on and picture a warm summer night in 1971. Windows down, city lights passing by, that groove rolling steady through the speakers.
She knows how to control me. She's mine.
One song, one moment, and a reminder that sometimes music history is shaped by artists who were never meant to exist beyond a single hit.
She's not, no. She taught me.
Number 7, Ain't Understanding Mellow by Jerry Butler and Brenda Lee. Eager. A quiet conversation that stopped the noise. In 1971,
For this other guy.
while funk was getting louder and soul was stretching toward protest and power, this song chose to whisper. Jerry Butler, already known as the Iceman,
Try to make it easier.
teamed up with a young singer named Brenda Lee Eager for a duet that felt less like a performance and more like overhearing a private conversation.
Right by your side.
Released on Mercury Records, Ain't Understanding Mellow climbed to number 3 on the R&B chart, proving you didn't need theatrics to make an impact. The structure was simple: call, response, emotion. But what made it special was restraint. Jerry Butler didn't overpower the track. Brenda Lee Eager didn't try to steal the spotlight. They met in the middle, two voices circling the same emotional truth. For Butler, it was another strong chapter in a long career. For Brenda Lee Eager, it was her defining moment. She never reached the charts again at this level,
You a woman enough.
making this duet her lone brush with mainstream recognition. Play it today, and it still works the same way. Lights low, voices close.
Say, oh.
No rush. It's the sound of adults talking through love instead of shouting over it.
Wherever you go.
Number 6, Check Out Your Mind by The Impression Soul at the Crossroads. By 1971, The Impressions were standing at a turning point. Curtis Mayfield had stepped away to begin his solo career.
And it's not against the law.
Leaving the group searching for a new voice and direction in a rapidly changing soul landscape. Instead of retreating, they took a risk.
They never found the missing link.
Check Out Your Mind was not a safe record. It leaned into psychedelic soul, layered with wah-wah guitar, swirling textures, and lyrics urging self-awareness and inner reflection. The song reached the R&B top 20 and brushed the pop charts. But more importantly,
None do me better on this earth.
it captured a moment in time. This wasn't feel-good Motown polish. This was soul music absorbing the tension of the era. Vietnam, civil unrest,
Why don't you check out your mind?
generational shifts, and young listeners asking bigger questions. Radio didn't quite know what to do with it. It wasn't protest enough to rally crowds, and it wasn't romantic enough to dominate dance floors. But that's exactly why it endures. Today,
Check out your mind.
crate diggers and soul historians point to Check Out Your Mind as one of the group's boldest post-Curtis statements.
Your mind. Then with you all.
A bridge between classic harmony-driven soul and the funkier, freer sound that followed. Put it on, and you hear a group thinking out loud,
Then with you all the time.
experimenting in real time, trying to stay honest in a decade that demanded change.
Check out your mind, check out your mind, check out your mind, check out.
Number 5. Funky Nassau. By the beginning of the end, Sunshine. Bottled in a groove. When Funky Nassau hit in 1971, it didn't sound like anything else on American radio. The beginning of the end.
Nassau got a whole lot of soul.
A band from the Bahamas fused Caribbean rhythms with American funk, creating a laid-back but infectious groove that felt like summer the moment it started. Released on Alston Records, the song climbed into the U.S. Top 20, becoming a staple at block parties, cookouts, and dance floors.
And London town is too down.
The horns bounced, the rhythm breathed, and the vibe felt effortless, joyful, without trying too hard. But here's the twist. Despite the success of Funky Nassau, the group never followed it with another major hit. Labels didn't quite know how to market a Caribbean funk band in a U.S. soul market that still preferred clear categories. Yet the song refused to disappear. Over time, Funky Nassau became one of the most sampled and referenced grooves in music history, influencing talking heads, hip-hop producers, funk revivalists, and DJs decades later. Close your eyes and it's easy to picture it. Open windows, warm air, streetlights flickering on, music floating through the neighborhood like a breeze. It may have been their only chart smash, but it became something better, a permanent mood.
Got a doggone beat now. We're gonna take care of business too.
Number 4. Bring the Boys Home by Freda Payne. The protest soul hit radio tried to ignore. By 1971, soul music was no longer just about romance. It had become a mirror. Reflecting war, grief, and national anxiety. Freda Payne, already known for Band of Gold, took a sharp left turn with Bring the Boys Home. This was not subtle. Driven by pounding drums, urgent strings, and Payne's commanding vocal, the song was a direct plea against the Vietnam War. A mother's cry, a community's demand, a nation's exhaustion. Radio stations panicked. Some refused to play it outright. Others quietly limited airplay, afraid of backlash for broadcasting something so openly political. Despite that resistance, the song surged to the top 5 on the R&B chart, proving that listeners were ready, even if radio wasn't. And here's the tragedy. Although Freda Payne had the voice, credibility, and momentum, she never followed this moment with another hit of equal impact. The industry was uncomfortable backing artists who spoke too directly about war and protest. Listening now, Bring the Boys Home feels bold, fearless, and painfully human. It stands as one of the most powerful protest soul records of the era, and one of the clearest examples of how truth could stall a career. In 1971, this song didn't just entertain, it challenged, and sometimes that came at a cost. Number 3. If Loving You Is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right.
If being right means being without you,
By Luther Ingram. The Late Night Confession. That took over 1971. Some songs don't shout. They confess. In 1971, Luther Ingram stepped out of the Memphis soul tradition, with a record that felt like overhearing a private conversation.
Knowing I got a wife and 2 little children depending.
After midnight. If Loving You Is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right was slow, restrained, and emotionally heavy.
I can't see when I wanna.
Built on a simmering groove and Ingram's pleading vocal, torn between desire and guilt. The song struck a nerve. It climbed into the top 10 on the R&B chart and crossed over to pop audiences, becoming one of the most intimate soul hits of the year. Yet despite the success, Luther Ingram never fully broke into the superstar tier. Why? His style was too quiet for the emerging funk explosion and too raw for pop radio's polish. He lived in that uncomfortable middle space, where honesty mattered more than hooks. But that's exactly
Ladies and gentlemen, listen to Luther Ingram.
why the song endures. Picture a dim lounge in 1971, couples swaying close, glasses sweating, a jukebox humming regret and longing.
As long as I got you by my side, I don't.
Decades later, the track has been covered by everyone from Millie Jackson to Rod Stewart, proof that its emotional core never aged.
Oh, and I got someone else at home. You need.
It may not have made Luther Ingram a household name, but it made him unforgettable to anyone who's ever loved when they weren't supposed to.
Are you wrong to give your love?
Number 2, You're the Reason Why, by the Ebonys, the Philly Soul Jewel. That time nearly buried before Philadelphia International Records became a powerhouse. Before the sound dominated the decade, there were quieter moments that laid the foundation.
I feel like a king.
The Ebonys captured one of those moments in 1971 with You're the Reason Why, produced by Gamble and Huff, the architects of Philly soul. The song shimmered with silky harmonies, gentle orchestration, and a restrained groove that felt refined and deeply romantic.
You fill my heart with so much joy.
It climbed to number 10 on the R&B charts, earning respect, but not stardom. That was the problem. The Philly sound was evolving fast. And bigger acts soon absorbed the spotlight. The Ebonys never landed a follow-up hit strong enough to compete. Yet this song mattered. It helped define the emotional blueprint of Philadelphia soul. Elegant, conversational, intimate, the kind of record meant for close listening. Not shouting. Today, crate diggers treasure it. Soul DJs pull it out late in the set. And once you hear it, the softness stays with you. You're the Reason Why wasn't built for flash. It was built for feeling. And sometimes, that's why history almost misses it. Number 1. Smiling Faces. Sometimes. By the Undisputed Truth. The one-hit warning that still cuts. Deep Fuse Soul records from 1971 sound as uneasy.
They don't tell the truth. Smiling faces.
Or as prophetic as Smiling Faces Sometimes. Created under the direction of Norman Whitfield, Motown's most fearless producer. The Undisputed Truth delivered a song that felt less like entertainment and more like a psychological alert. Built on a dark funk groove,
Smiling faces tell lies.
layered with psychedelic textures, and driven by lyrics about betrayal, paranoia, and false loyalty, the record warned listeners. Everyone smiling at you isn't your friend. The song struck a nerve. It climbed to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, and number 5 on the R&B chart.
Smiling faces, smiling faces.
Making it one of the most successful and unsettling soul hits of the year. But that intensity came with a downside. Motown struggled to market the group beyond this moment. Their sound was too experimental, too dark, too far ahead of mainstream comfort.
Smiling faces sometimes.
As a result, the Undisputed Truth never matched this success again. Still, the song refused to fade. It has been sampled by Public Enemy, covered and referenced across genres, and continues to feel disturbingly relevant decades later. Listening now,
They don't tell the truth. Smiling faces.
it doesn't feel like a relic of 1971. It feels like a warning meant for every generation, and that's what makes it unforgettable.
Jealousy.